Good morning, I'm Barbara Kay, here with Susan Schulman-Pertnoy. Welcome to Mosaic, Jewish Federation's weekly news magazine show, exploring Jewish topics here in the Palm Beaches and around the world.
You've probably seen it in the news. Student groups on college campuses across the nation are promoting images and rhetoric that seek to isolate and punish Israel.
On this episode of Mosaic, we'll sit down with the representatives of Hillel, of Broward and Palm Beach, who are working to connect students to Jewish life in the face of this growing issue.
We'll talk to a panel of students at Florida Atlantic University to hear what their experience has been on campus as a Jewish student in an era of anti-Israel activity.
And then we'll find out how Jewish Federation is working to prepare college students to stand up to anti-Israel activity on campus in a new and innovative way.
We'll be right back with Mosaic after this brief commercial break.
They say that caring for the elderly is a profession of the heart. As the director of home health care at Morse Life, I know that to be true. When I see an older person feeling safe and secure at home, I know I've done my job. To make a difference, to show compassion, dignity, and respect, it's not just our job, it's our mission.
Morse Life Home Healthcare.
Morse Life Health System, honoring senior living.
Welcome. I'm on FAU campus at the Hillel Center, and it's delightful to have you here. You are the executive director of Hillel for Broward and Palm Beach. You're also, tell them your beautiful name. I love your name.
Evan Rackhoover.
Rackhoover. I
Yes,
love
ma'am.
that. Tally.
Hi.
And you're also one of the executive directors here.
My title is Senior Program Associate.
That's a good title.
I like it.
Okay, let's talk about why we're here. Hillel is a very, very special event, and a lot of people don't know anything about it. Don't know how widespread it is, what the reason for it is. Could you give me a little bit of background so that people watching here can understand what we're doing?
Sure. Well, Hillel is an organization on college campuses all across the world. Mm-hmm. Certainly in the United States, there's well over 200 Hillels on individual college campuses. Many of them are very small. They only have one solo professional. This is a Hillel with not only a lot of Jewish students that we serve, but also very supportive Jewish communities that allow us to have a full staff. And our staff, what they're charged in doing is in engaging Jewish students, bringing them into Hillel, going out to find them wherever they are, whether it's in the business school, in fraternities, playing intramural sports, and trying to get them excited about Jewish life. So many young Jewish adults are arriving on college campus and not paying any attention to their Jewish background. So Hillel is designed to be a place to offer a warm environment for students to connect to their Jewish culture.
You know, it really is amazing. You know, it was started in 1923 by a Christian pastor who decided that there were enough Jewish people on campus that didn't know anything about being Jewish. So he decided to start this whole thing. It's a new job for you. I'm very proud of that.
Well, it is, and I'm actually coming after working with the Greater Miami Jewish Federation for 7.5 years, and we know there's one place where you will find over 90% of Jewish Americans between the ages of 18 and 22. They're getting their bachelor's degree at a university.
Isn't that, it's amazing. Actually, what's your role?
Well, I'm kind of overseeing all the programming that we do here, all the events that we put on. We have large-scale programs that get up to 250 students to attend. We also have, day-to-day programs like our lunch and learns. We have every Wednesday at 12, and the students get to learn. We give them pizza. So I kind of oversee all of that's happening. And we also have an internship program that's very successful here, and I'm also the supervisor for that.
And you're involved with the Israel involvement, I should say, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am. The Israel,
which is a big connection.
Oh, it's a huge connection. The Israel Engagement Coordinator, which is also known as Birthright Guy. So I literally go out and I find students, and I literally make sure that they're aware of this amazing opportunity to go to Israel for 10 days.
That is amazing. I've been on a Birthright trip. Let me ask you a question. We have many, many problems in this country on college campuses. We have the BDS activity problem. What do you do in terms of educating the Jewish students on campus how to deal with this? You have any programs that deal directly with this kind of experience?
Well, we do. And
you do?
Well, I want to make sure, though, Barbara, that our audience is aware and understands the totality of the challenges on college campus. Do you think everyone's aware of what college students are seeing across the nation?
That's a very good question. Well, maybe you could make it more clear.
I could share a little bit. I've got a few points that I would like to make clear. I think probably the majority of the people watching knows that Israel has a lot of enemies.
Right.
And some of those enemies lob missiles, and others use their words and use politics in order to attack the state of Israel. So that's really, the latter is what we're seeing on college campuses. And the methods, you mentioned one of them, is the BDS movement, right? We're talking about the boycott, divestment, and sanction movement against the state of Israel. What is this? It's a global network of both individuals and organizations whose aim is really to isolate Israel politically, economically, and culturally. So how have we been seeing this take place nationally across college campuses? A few examples. Student governments are actually very powerful within the university framework. And student governments often take upon themselves resolutions and decide to divest, decide to take on a resolution to divest away from Israel as far as their campus is concerned. That may not have a lot of monetary or economic impact, but what it does do is it really heightens the issue and anti-Israel rhetoric on campus. Another example is boycotting of Israel academics. We've seen this both in the United States and in Europe, where Israeli academics are even fearful to go travel to foreign countries in some cases. The third thing that we have to highlight in the BDS movement is divesting from companies and organizations that do investment and work with Israel or Israeli companies. And this is an area where our JCRCs, our Jewish Community Relations Councils, that many communities have done great work. I know here in the state of Florida, our federation system came together and largely lobbied it at the Tallahassee level and got passed a resolution that our state governments will no longer allow any organization that they fund to be involved in divesting from Israel, which is a great coup for our community.
Yeah, but how do you keep the students, in other words, you laid it out beautifully. How do you keep the students in Hillel aware of this concern, aware of the challenge? How do they respond to this? Does anybody have a response?
Yes, so when anti-Israel rhetoric is on campus, the first thing students do is they kind of get scared. They're struck by it, no matter what their Jewish background is, they are affected by it. They can be scared, withdrawn, whatever it is. And some students handle it in different ways. Some students will kind of start questioning their own Jewish identity if they even want to be known as a Jew on their campus. Or some students come to Hillel as their safe space to talk to the staff about it and ask questions about what they can do to stop it, how they can, put an end to all the things.
But do you prepare the students for that? In other words,
so most of the things that we focus on is all positive things. We don't really, when the opposition's going south, we go positive. So we don't really bring it to their attention. They're on campus. They see it every day. These groups they're on campus, so they see it, and then it's kind of, they come into us afterwards.
Yeah. We have a number of programs that our student leaders that are particularly interested in Israel take part in order to teach them how to become better advocates for Israel and to become more knowledgeable about Israel. But to take a step back, we actually have to find the students that are interested in Israel.
Yeah, well, that's his job, isn't it?
That is.
Yeah,
so how do you do it?
How do I do it?
Yeah.
It's so this is my first year working here. So I've learned by coming here and starting work that there are students that are already established. There are student leaders within the different organizations that we offer here, like in Owls for Israel, where they bring in a congressman to let people aware of issues like this. So that's a good starting point. You're not going to try to recreate the wheel. You're going to purposely use the wheel that's been working and figure out ways to make it better. So by using current students here and also by tabling outside is what we do. We table for many different many different activities we do. Is a way to meet a lot of students making sure that we do not stay in this building, that we purposely move ourselves out to go reach that audience that we're not seeing.
Is the Federation doing a good job?
The Federation is a great partner of Hillel's,
Right.
and they do, you know, we might get into this a little bit later, but there have been incidents on the FAU campus where we've needed to call out for a little bit of help and guidance in the anti-Israel arena, and federations have been extraordinarily helpful. Federation's also helpful in helping us provide for our students staff and programming that will engage them around why be Jewish, around the value of Jewish community, even just providing meals, sending students on birthright so they can get connected to Israel, so that we can then build advocates for Israel in the future.
Yeah. Well, I tell you something, you have a big job. It's a good job, too.
It's a very good job.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Coming up, we'll hear from a panel of students at Florida Atlantic University to hear what their experience has been on campus as a Jewish student in an era of anti-Israel activity.
The patients who come to us after illness or injury are often in pain and fearful of losing their independence. I make it my mission to treat them like family. I listen to their concerns. I help them heal and gain strength. My goal is for them to not need us. To know that I help them, there's no better feeling.
Morse Life Short-Term Rehabilitation.
Morse Life Health System, honoring senior living.
We're with 3 FAU college students today, and they are leaders of our Jewish community on the college campus. And I would like each of you to introduce yourselves and tell us what you do.
So my name is Lindsay Siegel. I'm the Owls for Israel president here on campus.
I'm Leah Avni. I'm president of the Jewish Student Union.
I'm Morgan Solorzano. I'm an active member of the political scene here on campus, as well as being an Owls for Israel.
What is Owls for Israel?
It's our pro-Israel organization on campus that is all about educating our FAU community about Israel and also about Israel and immersing them in Israeli culture and doing different programs and events to teach our full Jewish community, whether Jewish or not, about Israel.
As Jewish students on campus, have any of you ever come across any anti-Israel rhetoric or been exposed to something that makes you uncomfortable?
I can start off just real quick. Just personally, I haven't. There are some classes where I have professors where I can't tell if it was anti-Israel at the beginning or if it was just critical of Israel. And it's hard to differentiate because you don't want to make a scene because they're the ones grading you, and you have to learn kind of fast if they mean it or if they don't, if it's just a class that they're teaching. But thank God I can say I haven't really experienced any of that.
Have you, Morgan?
Unfortunately, I can think of 2 instances, one that happened last year and one that happened just last week, where it did cross the line into anti-Israel and even anti-Semitism. The one that happened last year was that I was out on the breezeway, which is the main area of campus. I was actually with Owls for Israel. And we just had a sign saying, "What does peace mean to you?" A lot of us being out there in the main area of campus is trying to appeal not just to Jewish students, but the whole student body and immerse them in Israeli culture, and not even so much Jewish culture as just trying to show them what Israel is. And we were approached by some students, and they immediately started degrading Israel. And it went beyond just criticism. It started off just with international law, and as a political science major, I was fine having that kind of confrontation. And then it crossed the line into anti-Semitism, and it became very uncomfortable.
What did you do in response to this? Or did you have tools? Were you prepared?
I did. I contacted the Hillel, and they sent out 2 staff members, and it quickly really got broken up. It was handled very efficiently, and nothing like that has ever happened when I was out at a table with Owls for Israel again since that day last year.
How about you, Lindsay?
So I personally have not really had any anti-Israel, anti-Semitic things happen to me personally on campus. And I was actually there when the first time Morgan was talking. I was at the table. But I think something that we as Owls for Israel and we as the pro-Israel Jewish community here at FAU do, which is something so special, is that we really are making sure that we have that Israel has a positive light on campus and doing lots of different programmings. For example, like we had our culture shook this morning.
Yes, I know you did, and I think we have some video about it, and we're going to show the video.
Yeah.
So then hold that thought, and then we'll get back to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Lindsay Siegel. I'm the Owls for Israel president here, which is our pro-Israel organization on campus that's all about immersing our FAU community in Israeli culture and educating them about Israel. So today we have a culture shook that's sponsored by Hillel and Stand With Us as well, as I'm an active Hillel participant and an intern for Hillel, and also the Stand With Us Emerson Fellow for FAU. So I'm going to walk you through our culture shook today and see everything we're doing on campus. So first this is our sign-in table and learning a little bit about Israel. So what everyone is doing is they're signing in and getting some swag so they can support and show their love for Israel around campus, so we can spot and see all the Israel swag around the breezeway when we're walking around campus on another day. So there's all different things. We have stickers, bracelets. We're advertising for our upcoming events where we do big celebration for Israel Awareness Month in February and various other things. So next we're going to go over to this table over here. We have these virtual reality glasses sponsored by Stand With Us, who brought them down for us so we can experience Jerusalem and Tel Aviv and walk the streets of Israel, so that we can really give our students a hands-on experience and really see what it's like to be in Israel, since not everyone has the amazing opportunity to go to Israel. So then our next station is we're going to go over here, and we're teaching about the different cities in Jerusalem, in Israel, and asking them about different questions. So we're having them pinpoint different places on the map and where they are. So we've pinpointed a few of the important ones like Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Haifa, and we're asking different questions to try to get everyone to know like at least one fact about the different cities in Israel, so that when they hear the words, they know at least that one thing. So that's what we're doing over here. And then our last station, which is the hit for most students, is we're giving away food, and we've created it like a shuk. So if you walk through, we have different gummies, grapes, trail mix, pita and hummus, rugelach. We did have earlier barekas and different things like that, but it's just been a way for them to really experience what a shuk is like in Israel, since not everyone has the ability to go to Israel. So we're bringing Israel to campus today to give everyone the Israel experience that some of us are so fortunate to go on through Birthright and other organizations.
That was awesome. Continue with what you were saying.
Yeah, so doing different programs on campus where we're able to bring a diverse group of students to come to the table and learn about Israel. One of the things we had today was we had virtual glasses where students were able to put them on and walk through Israel, walk through the streets of Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, and little things like that, just showing them that Israel is not what you always hear in the media, and it's not a war-filled country. It's really important for our community, and we were teaching them about the different cities in Israel. So that's one of very many programs we put on yearly, and those are the things that we're doing to make sure that we're being a proactive group of students to make sure that there is not any huge anti-Israel, anti-Semitic things happening on campus, like unfortunately we do see at some of these other universities and colleges around the world with BDS, and just being and just not being accepted because we support Israel and because we're Jewish.
How about you, Leah?
Well, I'm co-tabling manager for Owls for Israel, and Culture Shook was my baby, who me and Lindsay worked on, and our other, my other partner. And it was just amazing. Like, I've studied in Israel for a year, and I really wanted to bring, and since coming back to America for college, I've wanted to bring Israel to campus, because I've seen it for a long time in high school. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to join is the pro-Israel club on campus wherever I go, and I'm so glad that Owls for Israel gave me that opportunity to do that. And just like what you saw from today, it's just one of the many events we do. We've shown humanitarian aid, we've had maps out, we've shown the different places Israel's gone to and helped, like for Haiti, for example, with the earthquake, with the tsunami in the Philippines. And it's just amazing, and I'm so lucky that this campus happens to be very receptive in a good way, and they want to come and they want to hear what we have to say, because right now there isn't any of the anti-Israel rhetoric going on our campus, which I know has in the past, and it's good to start off getting the good out so they can know it for the future.
Well, you are just terrific Jewish leaders, and this campus is very fortunate to have you because your educational experiences for your campus cohorts are just so impressive and extraordinarily important. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Coming up, we'll find out how Jewish Federation is working to prepare college students to stand up to anti-Israel activity on campus in new and innovative ways.
Our Jewish Federation has accomplished so much, and still needs keep growing. You can help us do even more. Community, like every gift, counts. Together, we can ensure a vibrant Jewish future. Federation and you, changing the world together.
Welcome, Rabbi Erica Rosenkranz. You're the Director of Jewish Life at our Jewish Federation. And Josephine Gahn, you are the Director of Israel and Global Initiatives. We've been talking with college students about anti-Israel activity. How is our federation responding to this?
Well, unfortunately, it is a reality on many campuses, though not all. The Federation has been supporting many organizations who deal with this on a daily basis on campuses. The Hillel, for example, Israel Fellows, who are Israelis who have come through the Jewish Agency for Israel, who deal with this as well. So this is being handled on campus, and we have supported them. However, it's become clear over the years that teens need to have preparation before they even get to college in what they may experience on some of these campuses, that sometimes arriving and seeing it is overwhelming, and what can we do to prepare them. So we have altered our focus, well, not taken away, but we have added 2 programs in this coming year that deal with this issue.
Can you describe them?
The one is called Leading on Campus. It's actually a program created by the Jewish Community Relations Council of New York, which we felt was the most appropriate because it's geared at teens and how teens operate. And Rabbi will probably agree with me that you cannot tell teens what to do, what to think, or indoctrinate them and say, this is how you must handle it.
Right, it's really important that we help the teens learn about the issue and then have their own voice and be able to address it the way that they feel compassionate about it.
Right. So that's the first one. In addition to educating parents and grandparents about the subject, not everyone is aware of what's going on. And then the second one is called Israel Talks, of which advocacy is only one dimension. This one aims to connect teens to their Jewishness, their peoplehood, and to the state of Israel in a sort of broader way. So it talks about the connectivity, the real country in a very broad way through Tikkun Olam, through study, through advocacy as well. So it's that real connection with the country on a broader way.
So you think that's really the effective way to do it, connecting them with Israel?
I think, and I think it's the position of the Federation, that you're the best advocate if you know the country and you love the country. And the best way to know and love the country is to have a connection to it.
Right, we hope that they'll learn all these great things and then want to go there and then experience it.
Right.
So between learning and experiencing, they'll feel a strong connection.
Right. So what we have is we try and do a sort of connectivity of activities and experiences from youth to old age with Israel. So we have exchange programs with teens, we have school twinning programs, we have trips to Israel. Everywhere along the line, opportunities to enhance one's connectivity. And I think when you know people, when you know the country, when you experience it in all its flaws and all its glory, I mean, we're not talking about something unreal, but just to know it, then you become an advocate. And that's the tack we think is most helpful.
I think it sounds like it would be very successful. It's a wonderful initiative.
Well, we hope so. These 2 programs are new initiatives, so we will see. The Leading on Campus, we're starting as a pilot, and it has the potential to be done easily in a number of places. So hopefully it will work. We hope so.
And we're hoping it will also help teens want to experience the trip as well, so that they learn a great deal and then they go physically experience it. And between the two, they'll really be able to understand what the country is all about and what our relationship with the country is all about.
Right, and I think it could ignite passion. Being there, seeing, touching, and feeling it really helps the situation. Rabbi, you were a former rabbi for Hillel, both in Broward and Palm Beach County. How do Jewish values help in responding to this issue?
Yeah, it was my first job actually outside of rabbinical school. My husband was the director of the ADL and moved us to Florida, and I worked here for 2 years, which was amazing. And I think that Judaism really places a great emphasis on learning and education, and so it's a very natural inclination that will help these teens learn about something to make their voice heard, as opposed to telling them what to think or hear. And also, obviously, the Jewish values of caring for our country and caring for other people, and that's all represented by our attachment to the land. So,
all right, big question. How long do you think we're going to have to experience this anti-Israel activity on college campuses? Do you see an end to it?
I hope so. Unfortunately, in my view, the extreme forms of this are the new anti-Semitism, and we know how long that has been around. How long? Hopefully it ends soon. But I think regardless, it's beholden to all of us to be able to respond to it. We've got to be knowledgeable, we've got to know how to respond, and we've got to respond all the time.
Right, it's our responsibility to teach them. We don't know what will happen in the world, but we can only try to teach them to be able to make good decisions.
And to not be silent.
To have a voice.
Whatever your voice is, you've got to feel comfortable expressing it.
That's very true. So if you were a student or a parent of a student watching this program, how would you empower them? What's your advice to empower them to deal with anti-Israel rhetoric?
I would say be informed, be knowledgeable. If you're not sure where to go, we can always advise.
Call us.
Let us know, contact us. We'll let you know when our programs are. We have speakers who are talking about the issue of campuses on a broader scale, and also some of the lies that are told.
Right. Plus, as a community connector and being a part of the Federation, we know about the resources in the community and other things that are going on to help teach the teens about this as well, so we can connect them to those other programs too.
Right, so call us. We'll let you know. But be informed.
Thank you so much for joining this.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, thanks so much.
Coming up, final thoughts on Mosaic.
Thousands of community members come together through programs and services provided by Federation and our local partner agencies to create a vibrant and vital community in Palm Beach County. Together, we can ensure a vibrant Jewish future. Federation and you, changing the world together.
You know something? I was very, very unnerved by this program. I have watched what's happened on campus with BDS, and I've watched how the young people are not prepared in general to really counteract any of this activity. Fortunately for Hillel and Federation, are working together, they've started at least educating the youngsters to talk about what it's like to be a Jew and how proud they can be.
You're absolutely right. That's why it's so important to arm yourself with the tools to fight this prejudice. Thank you for watching, and join us again next week when we take another look into the Jewish world. Goodbye from Mosaic.